With more than a week into Ken Paxton's impeachment trial, the defense now has several hours left on the clock to present evidence and question witnesses. Here's a live look in on the floor now, where testimony is still being heard, but this trial may start winding down sooner than we think. WFAA's Jason Wheeler is live in Austin. Jason, the defense is still presenting at this moment. What are the big takeaways from today so far?
Well, Matt, it has been almost 3 years since all of the events that eventually led up to Ken Paxton's impeachment. And as you said, his defense has now officially begun. That started today. One by one, they have been trying to undermine the allegations being made in those articles of impeachment. And they spent a lot of time today on the article that deals with the whistleblowers, specifically 4 of them who in 2020 worked for Ken Paxton, but went to the FBI to report him because they thought he had committed crimes. Well, after that, they were fired, and then they sued for wrongful termination.
Did Ken Paxton ever indicate expressly or implicitly that these former staffers needed to be fired because they made a report to law enforcement?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay, so that was the defense team questioning Henry De La Garza just a little while ago. He's the current HR director at the AG's office. He contended that all 4 of the whistleblowers who sued were fired for other valid causes, even though Paxton agreed to a $3.3 million settlement for wrongful firing with them. That's what triggered the whole impeachment process in the first place when that went to the legislature earlier this year. Well, on cross-exam, the HR director acknowledged that all had been fired within 6 weeks of reporting Paxton to law enforcement, and that the law presumes that firing someone that soon after they've blown the whistle constitutes unlawful retaliation.
November 2nd, a month after going to the FBI, David Maxwell was fired.
Yes.
November 2nd, a month after going to the FBI, Mark Penley was fired.
Yes.
November 17th, 6 weeks after going to the FBI, Ryan Vassar is fired.
Yes.
Have you ever heard of the expression, "There's no coincidences in Austin"?
He did not answer that last question there, and if you've been keeping up with the trial, you know that they are using the same phrase that the defense kicked off this trial with. Before we send it back to you, Matt, we have to clean up one other piece of business. Yesterday, the prosecution in this case filed a big motion that they wanted to change the rules, and that if the senator jurors decided to convict Paxton on any of these articles of impeachment, they wanted to go ahead and automatically not only remove him from office, but disqualify him for running for future office here in the state. Well, today we got word without explanation that the prosecution has withdrawn that motion now. So we're back to square one. If senators convict on any one of these articles of impeachment, or certainly if they do on all of them, they would then hold a second vote to see if they want to disqualify Paxton from holding office again in the future. Testimony continuing this afternoon. We'll keep an eye on it for you. For now, back to you in the studio, Matt.
All right. Thank you so much. Great context there, Jason. We are streaming gavel to gavel on our streaming app, WFAA+. Investigative reporter Tanya Eiser is joined by legal and political experts. And if you're on the go, we're streaming on WFAA.com and our YouTube channel, too. And if you want a deeper dive into this case, point your phone at that QR code in front of you, because we just released a special episode of Y'all-itics. Jason Wheeler spoke to the chairman of the Republican Party, who predicted an all-out Republican civil war if Paxton is removed from office. So a lot going on.